How did civilian leaders influence Operation Rolling Thunder? Imagine trying to fight a war with one hand tied behind your back. That's what civilian leaders faced during Operation Rolling Thunder. Their decisions shaped how the bombing campaign unfolded. President Lyndon B. Johnson and Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara played key roles in guiding the operation. They wanted to avoid a full-scale war with the Soviet Union or China, so they pushed for a slow, cautious approach. Instead of bombing everything in sight, they limited targets and set strict rules of engagement. These restrictions meant the bombing was phased and focused on specific supply routes and communication lines, not total destruction. Civilian leaders held weekly meetings, often called Tuesday cabinet meetings, where they reviewed and approved strike requests. Military commanders suggested more aggressive tactics, but civilian leaders often blocked these ideas. They believed that too much bombing too fast could escalate the conflict beyond control. President Johnson was wary of military advice that favored heavy bombing, fearing it would lead to wider war and political trouble at home. So, civilian leaders kept a tight grip on the campaign, making sure it aligned with political goals rather than military convenience. This control had big effects. North Vietnam learned to adapt quickly, repairing bomb damage and dispersing military assets to avoid destruction. The slow pace made it look like the United States lacked resolve, which encouraged North Vietnam to keep fighting and seek support from allies. Military leaders grew frustrated because they thought the restrictions limited the effectiveness of air power. They wanted to strike more aggressively, but civilian leaders prioritized political stability and international opinion. In the end, civilian leaders influenced Operation Rolling Thunder by setting the tone for a cautious, incremental bombing campaign. Their focus was on balancing military objectives with diplomatic concerns. They controlled target choices, campaign speed, and rules of engagement, shaping the air war's course. This approach reflected the tension between military needs and political considerations during the escalation phase of the Vietnam War.